All right, first of all, let me welcome you to Active Inspire, and congratulations on acquiring this. I wanted to go ahead, I know I promised that I would go ahead and send out a video just to kind of give you guys some basics. It's a really neat program that you can do, and the things I want to show you today are just extremely basic. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of things that this program will do. So there's about 6 things I wanted to show you today. Some of them are extremely basic, and you may already know them. One of the things is just some of the buttons that are going to be really, really important on the toolbar. I'm also going to show you how to add buttons to the toolbar, and because there's, like I said, there's a lot of functions that's available in Active Inspire, but being able to add those quickly to the toolbar will make things a little easier and a little more efficient for you. Also clearing annotations. There's a couple ways that you can do that, and I wanted to show you both methods as opposed to just using the eraser button. One of the best benefits of Active Inspire is the fact that you can actually layer stuff. There's a background layer, a bottom layer, a middle layer, and a top layer. And it's actually going to make it beneficial for using the magic ink that I wanted to show you. And then I'm also going to show you how you can hide the hidden action button, which allows you to click text or pictures, and then words or pictures will pop up after that. So, well, first of all, let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you some of the buttons on the toolbar. And some of them are just real basic. The first one, and I'm sure you guys have seen this one, and my students get these confused a lot. The first one is just the pen, and this is the button that you're actually going to click to make sure that you can write on the Active Inspire board. The highlighter is a nice feature because it does just that. It actually just highlights material. The other one is the eraser button, and the eraser button is right beside there, and it will only erase anything that's on the top layer and any annotation, so anything that you've written on it or anything that you've highlighted. The next one would be the insert shapes, and once you click on insert shapes, then it's actually going to bring up a whole slew of different shape options. This color options will give you the inside color of the shape. The color options up here give you what will actually be around the shape. There are some options over to the side, and it actually gives you more options at the bottom. Some lines that have an arrow at the end, some curved lines, some dotted lines, and those such things. So the other function is the text box, which is which is basically the T, and from here you can actually add text box. The nice thing about it is after you've entered it in, it's the text box will slide around nice and easily. For example, when you have this, then you can slide the text wherever you need it to be placed. So when you're adding buttons to your toolbar, basically it is this button over here that looks like a little pin. Now yours may be a little bit different area, but you can actually, when you click on that, brings up this menu, and then under the commands button, then you can come down here and you can add or remove just any button that you want, any function that you'll want once you find one, for quick access. So one thing that I will mention while we're talking about the toolbar is on the little menu button right here. Looks like a little menu that's popped down. Welcome to the browser. Right here will also give you all of the toolbar up at the top. It will also, so that's also give you all those little same functions up at the top. The little icon right here kind of looks like a manila folder, I guess you'd call it. It allows you to dock your toolbar wherever you want. So, for example, if you wanted it docked at the top, you could dock it at the top. If you're standing at the board and you need your toolbar, I know some teachers would prefer to have their toolbar at the bottom. Mine is at the bottom of the board. It's easier for my students that aren't as tall to actually be able to reach those functions. So, and you can just click that and it moves your toolbar to the bottom. You can click it to the right. You can move it to the left. You could also make it a floating toolbar. And basically all that means is that you can move it wherever you want it. The other nice thing is you can roll it up, and when you're done, you can just roll it right back down. So I usually my preference is to have it either at the top or the bottom, because it is an action that I actually use quite frequently. So go ahead, moving on. One of the other things I want to do was clearing annotations. And when you actually clear annotations, this works nicely if you've written something on the board you can quickly, with either I call it the Windex bottle. You can clear the Windex bottle, and from here you can either clear the page, you can clear the background, clear the grid, clear your objects, or I usually do click annotations, and it removes everything off of the board. If you've manipulated your board in such a way that you've written on it, maybe you've moved text boxes, maybe you've moved pictures. The other button that kind of looks like the recycle sign, it's called the reset page. So whatever it's been saved to, you can click that and it'll take your page exactly to where it was before you started. So it's nice about moving things back, getting ready for the next class. The next one is layers, and this is a nice function when it comes to Promethean. And under the page browsers, and there's a couple of ways, if yours isn't over here, you can click on view and then make sure your browser button is checked. And then we want to pin it down so it doesn't move. If it's not pinned down, it'll slide back and forth as needed. So if you click the little button here, hover over it, and it'll say pin toolbox. So if you pin that down, it kind of slides everything over and adjusts it, and you can see all of your slides. But there are several different functions. The one I wanted to show you was this button right here. It's called the Objects Browser, and this actually talks about your different layers. Now, one benefit that this is going to have is that right now you can either move things between different layers. So like right now, this text box is on top of the image, so I could either move the image up, and all of a sudden now my text box is underneath that picture. So those are some nice features. You can also, if you wanted to, just move it to the top layer. Move it to the top layer and do the exact same thing, that you can slide it around, okay? Or the image, like I said, you can, if you wanted, you can slide things between different layers. And then now the text box is on top of the picture. So, but it's just a matter of clicking it, holding it down, and then moving it between whatever layer that you want. And you can actually rearrange things. Those will actually work also. There's two nice functions, the eraser versus the magic ink. Now the eraser is, works just like the eraser on a chalkboard. So if you've written on the board, simply click the eraser, and then you can just erase whatever you've written on the board. Active Inspire has a nice function called a magic eraser, and basically if you look at your toolbar, your object browser, you can see that pins always go on the top browser. But let's go ahead and take a look at this picture. So let's say I was talking about volcanoes. What the magic eraser does is it allows you to hide a picture underneath a picture. So like right now, I have another picture that's hiding underneath the volcano. And so if I wanted to, I could use my magic eraser tool, and the magic eraser is just found under Tools, and then Magic Ink. And then what it allows me to, and you can adjust the size of it with this button, allows you to actually erase the picture on the top. You can take off of it as much as you want, or as little as you want at a time, but it allows you to erase whatever's on top. So, and a couple ways that you can get rid of it. Again, you can hit your little page reset button, or the recycle I call it, or you can come over here and just delete the magic ink, and it should reset the page. So, okay. So, and then it'll just reset the page for you. So, the last function I wanted to show you to help you get started was the hide function. Under here where this little top button is, it's called the Action Browser. And there's several different options that you have for an option browser that you can manipulate. You can change different functions, and the more familiar you get with Active Inspire, the better you'll get. But to highlight anything, to create that action, is you're going to create the text and the hidden function, and these are all listed in alphabetical order. You're going to use the hidden function. So and all this tells me is that every time I click text 1, then it's going to cause something to either appear or disappear, depending on what I want. So for example, if you click the little buttons, then I can tell it to, okay, so when I click text 1, then I'm wanting text 2 to appear and disappear. So click OK, and then make sure you apply your changes. And so when you're done, there's a little blue, looks like a play button pops up, and as you click that, the text box pops up and disappears. Okay, so as you click that button. Okay, so those are basically the 6 functions that I wanted to show you, just to kind of help you get started in using Active Inspire and to make your classroom a little easier and a little more efficient. If you have any questions, I can be reached at tom.arthur@wayne.k12.in.us. Okay, thank you very much.